eSports. They've played their way along the upper bracket into day 2. Now they finally get to play against Complexity to start off their run towards day 3.
Looking for a win here, GC Aura. They had a really good day 1. If they play anywhere on that level, I'm actually worried for Complexity because they were a very strong team and they continue to show that type of strength, then Complexity will have a very tough time in this series.
That match with Mouse Sports ticked all the boxes for GC Aura. It was a reverse sweep. It was 4 games that went to overtime, and every single game decided by just 1 goal. And now Extra starting things off for GC Aura. Not able to get by the defense of Complexity. But Complexity in their own rights, they are no pushovers. They will not be an easy out here along the upper bracket. Greasy Meister will steal some of their boost. That will not make things easy for the Randoms either. That was their former name before taking the name GC Aura. But Magnus can't get a shot down, so it just goes to the corner. If the name GC Aura sounds familiar and you watched DreamHack Valencia, you'll remember that on day 2, this team with the same name took a game off of NRG. That featured Ocelon. He is here in this match. He is currently taking that ball to the center, but doing not much else with it.
GC Aura right now starting to get involved in terms of setting up a correct offensive pressure. Ocelon with a miss will push Tigre back. Complexity have to start choking out GC Aura quickly as Extra looking for the double. Magnus will touch that and they'll kill that play. Ball moving into the midfield, but so far no one with a competitive edge in this particular game. We're scoreless as we approach the bottom half of game 1.
Coming along the side is Extra, and he does beat 1 defender, but there are 2 more waiting to clear this away. They had all day to do so. Blake's right down the middle for Greasy Meister. Blake's got to stay with this play as Extra comes on. Now it'll be Magnus. He is cut out by Tigre. And again, GC Aura will try to make their way downfield. It'll be Ocelon. Up against Blakes, gets around him, but Magnus is waiting in front of the net. Blakes is up in a hurry, though. Needs 1 more touch, none is coming, as Extra clears away along the back line.
These guys here from GC Aura, you can see that they have good intentions from offense. They're giving up a lot of possession, though. Complexity able to cleanly move this ball down the field, and now they have to triple commit on their goal line. Not a good sign for GC Aura in game 1.
So often in these international events, you'll see a lot of, if it's in North America versus North America matchups. Kind of rare to see Europe take on Europe early on in the bracket, but it has happened here, and these players all very, very familiar with one another. The Complexity team, for instance, got to meet up with Ocelon and Extra at different points during the Rival Series season. Tigre, blocked by Greasy. Sounds like you had a thought, Daz, and because I've got nothing better to say, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, you brought up EU teams, and I was like, TSM's playing Reciprocity right now on mainstream, by the way. They are, like,
of course.
It's a lot of different EU matchups happening at the same moment. We're luckily able to cover them all. That being said, this one looks very close here. Still scoreless, 18 seconds left. And I feel like this just has to do with a lack of both teams really being able to hold on to any type of control.
Extra trying to take out an attacker coming through the middle. It'll be Extra just clearing this away. No sign of anybody scoring. And that does not bode well, as that one is saved away by Flakes. And we will go to overtime. And who knows how long this could take. It could, of course, be a kickoff goal. Maybe everybody just needed a reset. But that is cleared away, and I think we're in this for the long haul, Daz.
Overtime starting here, and you can see GC Aura starting to turn things up. Extra with the shot. Only 16 seconds left in overtime, and GC Aura take game one.
Well, I mean, after neither team showed any signs of being able to score in the first 5 minutes, all it takes was the kickoff. And right after a little rally, GC Aura does score, and their run continues. They take game one off of Complexity. It could make 3 RLCS teams that they that they drop down to the lower bracket if they continue on this pace. But you saw how difficult it was for them to score, Daz. They do finally break through, but they faced 7 shots from Complexity, and I can't imagine Flakes and company will be left scoreless much longer.
Flakes and company looking for definitely some offense there, but they weren't really necessarily able to continue to hold on to possession. That, again, possession, big factor here, especially when the ball's in the midfield. For a majority of that match, it was mainly just boomers and transitions back and forth, getting caught in the corner, and then things turning around once again after a small stop. But once teams can effectively rotate on offense, it would be great. For Complexity as well, there were some double commits. Seemed like some miscommunication on the field too. They got to clean that up. Otherwise, GC Aura, they're feeling good. They already took game one. They know that they can take this series if they continue to play well. They're going to look to continue to do so.
So Extra took 5 minutes and 16 seconds before he finally put a shot on net, but it was the final shot of game one. We're underway in game two. And a four corners kickoff is going the way of Complexity after a challenge at midfield. Magnus, oh, that's a great touch along the back wall. It springs Extra down the field, but only as far as Greasymeister. Now Flakes, for Greasy, but way too far out in front of him. And a good ball by Extra to get this out of harm's way. It's coming back in, though. And when it ends up with Flakes, it is not much of a prize when you clear the ball downfield.
Extra trying to set this up for GC Aura. Look at that dribble, an excellent dunk by him to open things up. GC Aura score quick here in game two.
Just straight brute force to get that ball through. Extra with both tallies for GC. And now Ocelon, he is up quickly for this. Just a little quicker than Greasymeister. Greasy still down the other way, though. And that was almost a real problem for GC Aura. Ocelon, no way he's going to catch up to this, right? And that does go to the side, courtesy of Greasy. Flakes, he has enough to make this play, and he got the dunk! What a play by Flakes!
Flakes from Complexity comes up big here. Extra wants to save, but Flakes a powerhouse on top of the ball. Great goal there for Complexity.
That is incredible stuff from a player who made us say, wow, all throughout the spring, while Complexity promoted to the championship series. Now Extra trying to match him. Magnus giving chase, but it will be Greasy who plays this instead, right at the car of Extra. Tigray out of the corner now, and he kind of took a wide turn just to get a look at Greasy, figure out what he was doing. He is waiting at midfield, dumping one off for Flakes. And this is solid possession. You brought it up, Daz, in between games that Complexity needs to do a better job keeping possession. For the most part, they have, but right now they're on the back line.
Yeah, ball in front now. It's just, how do we open up this GC Aura defense? They're staying on top of the ball, dribbling it out, and making sure they play it close to each other. They have to be able to get through that, maybe get aggressive, set some demo plays up, or just be able to pass it through transition. They're working on a pass now, but look at that. Someone from GC Aura up in time making the save.
Flakes will kick this out, but it's banked right back in by Ocelon. Flakes is all the way downfield. Got a piece of Tigre, but Tigre still credited with a save. This could fall down to Flakes, and GC Aura would do well to make sure it does not. Make somebody else beat you, Magnus or Greasy. Greasy will attempt to, but that should be cleared by Ocelon in the general direction of Flakes, but he couldn't react in time.
Greasy, great stop there in front of the box as well. With 2 minutes remaining in this game, a quick shot from Tigre. This is the position that they want to be in. A demo on Flakes. He respawns, almost gets demoed again, and has to come up big, but this ball will be in the corner. Can GC Aura hold on to the possession in front? They are putting everything forward to. Complexity, though, puts this past midfield.
Sent around the boards by Extra, and Magnus will take his time to guide this gently to the side and play it further down towards the GC Aura end. Flakes, not so gentle with the ball. He skied it up to the ceiling, giving possession away. Ocelon leaves that away, and it will be Extra instead. Hard to tell if that was planned or if he missed the double looking from that angle, but you wouldn't expect him to miss from there.
Yeah, and what I really want to pay special attention to right now for Complexity, look at the pace, look at how they're moving this ball downfield. Greasy sits all the way back, he's able to meet it in mid, and then if Flakes is allowed to push it in, he goes on a rotation to try to steal boost a little bit late, but this is how Complexity are starting to keep things going. Getting just touches on the backfield whenever they rotate off ball, and then they do it in an almost circular motion, and that's how the rotation from them is so deadly.
The ball played to the center. Tigre downfield for Extra, who's already down there, and he scores again.
This is big for GC Aura. Tigre, what a pass. Extra shot placement as that hits the back upper right corner. You cannot ask for a better shot for GC Aura at a better time. Confidence brimming from this team. 30 seconds remaining in game 2.
He has an overtime winner, and he has 2 go-ahead goals. You can do the math. That means he's got them all. Extra will bank this laterally, but it will end up with Flakes. Intercepted by Ocelon. Finally, somebody else. No, it's off the crossbar, and Greasy just sends it away to at least give his team a chance to come back. Flakes needs another. With no time on the clock, played across. Greasy can keep this up. Magnus is there, but he's not up in time, and that will do it. GC Aura keep marching on, up 2 in the series.
Extra on everyone's eyes like a guy selling newspapers. He is fantastic down the pitch today, and Tigre and Ocelon doing exactly what they can to support him. Complexity not looking too strong on their own end. Haven't been able to set up too many good chances. Just something that's barely getting by, and most of the time it's getting saved by GC Aura. It's not a good first 2 games for them at all. Now they face the losers bracket here. I don't know. They got a lot of work to do.
Another series where a team starts up 2-0. That's been the theme today, and a lot of them over the course of the weekend have gone to Game 5 anyways, or at least to Game 4. We have not had many sweeps here on the streamed matches, but what we have had is GC Aura making mincemeat out of everybody that they've come across so far. They've had to go to Game 5 twice, again against TSM and Mouse. They did, and they won. Now they're trying to do it in just 3 against Complexity, looking for their shortest series of the weekend. Well, they have it here. Game 3 is about to get underway.
Honestly, for Complexity, they had so much control in game number 2. I want to see that in game 3, but the problem was that they couldn't convert on any chances. And they got caught off the rotation, and boom, you got a goal from Extra. Now, as they're put in this situation, everything is against them. Tigre almost opened up the score. Great shot chance. Flakes will save it and move this all the way downfield. He wants to clear away that danger immediately.
Magnus has barely enough to have a look at this play. Now he'll dump it out for Greasy Meister, but the ball is defended well. Now Ocelon. He's got plenty to work with, and he just got this ball off into the complexity end. For Extra again, this time met by Greasy, and he could not force his way through. Someone who could force his way through was Ocelon. His shot was on target, saved by Magnus, turns into a shot that rings off the post.
Close chance here, but not enough yet as this one. 2 chances, one on each side in the first minute of this game. But GC Aura, a lot of confidence from them. They just have to close out the series.
Flakes is up for this, and he'll be met by Ocelon. Goes underneath him, actually. But nothing else comes from the attack. Tigre forces one through that Flakes will have to watch go over his head, and he is trying to outrun Tigre, and he does so. Extra again. What hasn't he done in this series? I guess technically he had to go to hat trick. He scored 1 in game 1. The only goal. He scored both goals in game 2 for GC Aura. He's passed that ball away from Ocelon. Tigre is up too far. Hand in the cookie jar. And Flakes scores his second of the series.
Yeah, this one is a little too risky for Extra to make that, ironically, extra touch. It throws off Ocelon from the touch, and then Tigre caught in no man's land as he gets shot right over his head. Down by 1 is how GCR are going to start it off. But a mistake like that, Complexity will take advantage of every second they get.
Flakes will start it for Complexity, but it's not really going anywhere. Magnus didn't have the angle he was looking for, and so it will be Ocelon. Coming up on the halfway mark of Game 3, Complexity trying to avoid being swept to the lower bracket. Ocelon is up for this. He's not going to be able to score from here, you wouldn't think, but he did win the challenge. Tigre drops one down, but it will be sent away by Magnus. Extra was all the way back on that play, and right as he started to come up was when Complexity made their march to the opposite end. This ball has trickled out to Tigre, however, and he's tied the game.
Tigre with the fake here on front of the ball. Magnus doesn't stand a chance. GC Aura back in the game. 2:22 left.
And the second half of Game 3 starts the way that most of this tournament has gone for GC Aura. A clutch goal. Extra bullies his way through one, but Flakes is there to stop him. Magnus shot up to the ceiling off the bump, and Tigre scores again.
Another goal from Tigre. Look at how he gets up for this one, but the defense is nowhere to be found off the bump. Excellent work from GC Aura.
It is Ocelon who knocked Magnus right out of the stadium. And now Ocelon the center again, and this time Flakes got a piece of it. Here is Extra. He's been kind of quiet in this game, and Flakes had to go up to meet him. All 3 members of Complexity bunched up in front of their own net. Here comes Extra again, but that goes over Greasy, and it will be cleared away.
GC Aura doing what they can. Ocelon looking for a setup on net. He'll wait patiently for Extra to leave, but what a turn of events. Start of this game, Complexity were up by 1. Now they need a goal if they don't want to start their day in the loser's half of the bracket. 1 minute and 17 seconds left. GC Aura continue to apply the pressure to an already bleeding Complexity.
Extra sets one up for Ocelon. GC Aura. They have turned this game around very quickly, and they have flipped the script on DreamHack Montreal overall. Ocelon plays another in front, and he will again continue to slow down the efforts of Complexity. Extra now with 50 boost, and a very important touch by Ocelon. Greasy Meister for Flakes, set away. Lakes will try again. Again,
Holding
set
on.
off the mark. Yeah.
Doing what they can here, but again, like, they had to put a lot of effort on that drive. It was super important. 20 seconds left and they're down by a goal. They gave up the ball to Asalan, who's looking to just dribble it around and kill the clock. One last drive, Stacks, and this might be all but over if they can't get it through.
A very rare case where a team with a 2-0 lead might actually take advantage of their first chance to end the series. They have GC Aura. They were the number 6 seed in their pool on day 1. They are on top of the world right now as they have now knocked out 3 RLCS teams to the losers bracket.
GC Aura.